Good evening, y'all. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Welcome to the first just in time conversation. Um, this will just be an opportunity for people to uh, be able to share thoughts, comments, and concerns. Um, this will just be an opportunity to share thoughts, comments, and concerns for this first time. And I will be uh, getting people to come on and share information and to share thoughts. Um, Big up to my cousin from England. It's good to see you. Um, So yeah, this opportunity this time, Rhonda has been doing, these conversations on Hamden Action Now. I've been doing just in time conversations. So this is a wonderful collaboration. Um, in the past, I've done conversations around the census. What does that mean? How does it work? How does the post-census affect us? I had a conversation with an archivist from Yale talking about the importance of archives and how they work. Um, so, my intention and my goal with these just in time conversations is really to think about what our individual contributions are to the greater community and really like what do people do? Because I think you know, there's a real conversation on what is skilled trade, what work is valued. I believe all work is valued, and that is the intention and hope of doing this is to really emphasize that all work has value. So uh, if you want to share your work with the larger community and share your perspective of what your work means, definitely reach out to us, put a comment down in the chat, and let us know. As there's a lot of good work going on, and there's a lot of contributions that people are doing that people don't really know. I remember talking with Emmett McCullen about, you know, uh, the census and what does post-census mean? What does it mean for our communities counting undocumented people? How do we count them? What are the benefits? How does the implementation of the census affect our budgets and municipal planning? And that was a great conversation. So when I have time, I will throw that into the chat, that conversation we had on Instagram. And then the other conversation with Rachel was a great conversation, just talking about um, archives and how they work and how archives work in general, and how we as individuals, what is our responsibility to restoring and storing and keeping a record to share with the broader community. And probably the other great conversation that I forgot about was with Alderman Eli Sabine in New Haven, who is a Yale undergrad student, and we kind of shared and commiserated uh, what have been some of the challenges of being young elected officials and taking classes and being a young leader. So definitely, I'm gonna throw those into the chat when I have a chance. Um, I guess as I have the time, I want to share a victory with y'all. As many of you know, I have been working with CT Cancel Rent and with DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, and different legal assistance orgs on the right to counsel. The right to counsel would be the same as in criminal cases where someone has a right to attorney. We believe that people should be able to have the right to a lawyer when they're in an eviction proceeding. So we've been doing organizing for the last couple of months, holding phone banks, putting out information, and this all came together and was really great in the sense that we were able to get this pass um, in the housing committee, which is a big. It was a really big win for us. So uh, I'm excited about it. You should be excited about it. Uh, I will also put down information for CGA to reach out to your legislator and let them know. Help us advocate by letting your legislators know that you support the right to counsel, that you believe that everybody should have the opportunity to advocate for themselves in legal proceedings. 80% of landlords have lawyers, and only 7% of tenants have access to landlords. And there are many landlords that do an amazing, phenomenal job, and then we know there are those industrial slum landlords that bring down the quality of life in our neighborhoods, and will evict somebody in a heartbeat the second that someone demands for their rights and their humanity to be acknowledged. So. Um, that is some of the great work that we've been doing. Um, I, while I also have y'all for the Hamdenites who are viewing this, the mayor will be presenting his fiscal budget for the next coming fiscal year uh, to 2022 to 23. Um, that will be happening March 17th. Uh, I believe we start at 6 o'clock. I have to double check on that, but we will be having that meeting. I'm eager and interested to see what the mayor's budget will hold. Um, this is going to be a very tough year. For us because we have not made the cuts that we needed to in the past. We have not invested where we needed to in the past. And we, as a community, uh, did not pay our bills for like 20 years. So this is on top of the coronavirus pandemic. This is going to be interesting. Um, the federal government, the stimulus package that just got passed. Hamden is slated to receive 20 to 30 million dollars based off of the formula that they're doing now. Um, we'll see how that pans out. Um, because Connecticut is weird and we don't have a county system, a lot a lot of the money is just being cut up by uh, uh, the legislators in Hartford. So you know, I always believe that a county system would be better for us, would be more equitable, and allow us to plan as joint communities in so many ways that we are. Um, that's kind of where the dice have fell from my last recollection. New Haven, which is our neighbors, they're supposed to receive 250 million. So um, Hamden's about half the size and population as them. So a little bit of discrepancies as far as I'm concerned. Um, but, so I am gonna share, get some different information up for y'all, um, and share around. Um, so if you have a chance, if you have not signed this petition for the right to counsel, um, I'm gonna share out the petition when you get a chance. Just sign up add to the names. Uh, we've have over 1,000 people have signed this so far, but everybody signing this will help us push legislators as it goes through the rest of the process. Um, I'm also going to share with y'all an event we have going on tomorrow on uh, at noon. We have an event with the DSA talking about uh, tenants union. So they're uh, big surprise in Scandinavia. In Sweden, they have uh, a 500,000 household tenant union that has been around for about a century. And these tenants uh, come together and organize and make negotiations with the major landlords and with local governments and county governments to come up with reasonable agreements of what rent should be, what amenities should be available, and how processes should be grieved. Very, very interesting and time sensitive conversation about, you know, how do we take care of our communities and how do we talk about housing. Um, so those are a couple of things that I wanted to share with y'all. If anyone has any questions, comments, feel free to throw them into the chat uh, as I find that one too. So I'm going to share the other link for the tenants union um, event happening tomorrow. Please join us. Uh, it is definitely going to be fun. I'm with you, Lou. You know, tell Rosa, let's go on a fact-finding mission. I'm definitely with you. I definitely want to see how it works. Obviously, Corona when it's Corona safe, but I definitely would love to get an account firsthand and share with the good people of Connecticut. So um, I'll let you float that idea and see where it goes. But if you hear anything, definitely get back to me on that. So I am y'all's for the next uh, 12 minutes. So anything you want to bring up, otherwise, in typical politician fashion, I'll just ramble at you. Um, Another fun thing about Right to Counsel, we actually got a retweet from Keith Ellison, who was a representative, a congressman in Minnesota, who is now the attorney general in Minnesota, and Congresswoman Ilhan Omar took his seat. Definitely one of my idols, one of the people I look up to. So it was very encouraging to see him retweet and share out the work we're doing here in Connecticut. And something that I was remiss to mention before was that if we pass right to council here in Connecticut, um, this will be the first program to pass where we are establishing this as a right. as a state rather than in a town or a city. So this is definitely something fun, and this is definitely something monumental, an achievement, if we get to do that. The only other thing I'm gonna share with y'all, seeing that I can just do it right now, uh, is to share the Connecticut General Assembly website and the tab to find your legislator. So if you ever need to find your legislator or have questions of your state legislators, this is a good tool. Okay. Uh, You as well, Lou. I hope you have a great weekend. And yeah, it is about time. Civil Gideons are things that we need to work on. Uh, for those of y'all who are not in the legal realm, civil Gideons are some of this public interest law around things like right to counsel, having attorneys. There was a pilot program done by Senator Looney that was wonderful. That it was a pilot program to make sure that those who are filing a restraining order would have be able to have access to a lawyer. A couple of years ago, there was a tragic incident where a woman filed a restraining order, and um, just through judicial procedure, um, her case didn't move forward as expedient as it could, and it ended up with the fatality of the child. So definitely great work is being done, and excited to see it. Um, so also, if y'all didn't know, it's Women's History Month. It's important that we honor the women that have added to the quality of life and to our legacy and to our history. So, um, if you get a chance, educate yourself about some of the courageous women that uh, have made great strides to better uh, our country, our planet, our world. Um, uh, as many of you may or may not know, Harriet Tubman was an amazing leader and uh, uh, a pinnacle person to the Underground Railroad. But something that people don't really talk about is that she actually served in our armed forces, and she was a spy and a top-ranking official uh, uh, during the Civil War, not only helping to liberate uh, thousands of slaves into freedom, but also helped many soldiers throughout the Civil War. So she is an amazing leader, amazing person, and y'all should learn about her legacy. The reason I bring her up is because Tucker Carlson the other night was talking about how pregnant women shouldn't be in the army, and there's a lot of controversy around that. I want to say I think all the women that serve in all the different ways and capacities, whether it's the armed forces or other things that add quality to life. So I'm not gonna be a liar. I'm gonna be on here for a couple of more minutes, and then I will sign off. But I'm excited. I will let y'all know halfway through next week who our first guest is gonna be, and gonna be excited to start to have these conversations. Okay. And I'm gonna drop my number, so if anything comes up, y'all feel free to reach out to me. Let me know. And cool, cool. Well, remember, stay safe. Uh, and make sure to wash your hands. Although things are getting better in terms of COVID numbers, and people are getting vaccines, it's still important to cover your face, double mask if you can, and to be still cautious and careful during this time. Um, until next week, safe travels, and hope to hear from y'all, see y'all soon.